is CheckPoint. Also on the show tonight, should Kenyans be worried about the country's debt? Our exclusive interview with Finance Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich is coming up in this show, plus that discussion on the state of our economy. But first, let's get to our top stories tonight. We want to start off with the Supreme Court, which will on Tuesday sit for a pre-trial conference to pave way for the hearing of 3 petitions related to the October 26th repeat presidential poll. But just how different will these petitions be? Murimi Mwangi has the details.
For the second time in just 3 months, legal teams representing electoral body IEBC, its chairman Wafula Chebukati and President Uhuru Kenyatta, separately filed responses to 2 presidential election petitions against Kenyatta's re-election at the repeat poll, and a third one seeking the punishment of opposition leader Raila Odinga, his running mate Kalonzo Musyoka and other NASA leaders for electoral offences emanating from their election boycott call. Makueni MP Dan Manzo filed the NASA paperwork at the registry.
We believe from the day our presidential candidate Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka abandoned the race and election petition of Raila Odinga 2013, we knew at that particular moment that there were no elections.
It was enough for them to boycott. That is their constitutional right. But it was not in any way correct, in line with human rights, to stop people from exercising their democratic right. We have no precedent in history.
But the legal battle, it appears, is already drawn between the 2 political camps in the petition. The key query being the legitimacy of the October 26th repeat poll, following Odinga's withdrawal from the ballot 16 days earlier. In an affidavit filed by NASA co-principal Musalia Mudavadi, the opposition coalition claims IEBC failed to address the illegalities and irregularities raised earlier at the Supreme Court before proceeding with the repeat poll. NASA claims IEBC was under improper influence of US Ambassador Robert Godek and UK High Commissioner Nick Haley. But Kenyatta's legal team claims the chaos reported in the 4 Nyanza counties on election day was an opposition conspiracy to block residents from exercising their right to vote.
Political problems we are trying to solve may not necessarily be solved at the Supreme Court. Political problems are solved politically. And that's why NASA is pursuing political methods.
In August, it was just about confirmation of our win. Our opponents know this. We won it again on 26th of October, and even if it is to be done again, we'll still win it.
With all the critical documents now at the Supreme Court registry, the legal, diplomatic and political spotlight turns yet again to the apex court as the hearing of the 3rd petition against President Kenyatta's win begins. Murimi Mwangi, KTN News in Nairobi.
The National Resistance Movement insists they will swear in Raila Odinga should Uhuru Kenyatta be sworn in for a 2nd term in office. Despite warnings from Nairobi police boss Japheth Koome, NRM leaders gathered their supporters in Nairobi, where they pledged a grand homecoming for Mr. Raila Odinga this coming Wednesday. NRM plans to hold mass protests this week as they continue their push for people's assemblies at the county level. We'll keep you updated on this story as the week progresses and as the Supreme Court begins its hearing on the presidential petitions.
The first thing as free citizens is to take place in your nation. and stand firm and stand up for your right. If you stand up for your right, no power can stop you from doing what you must do. Tunaanza bunge kirasmi ya wananchi. Na hii bunge ndiyo ilitapitisha ni njia gani ambao tunamweza kumweka Raila Amolo Odinga kama rais wa Kenya.
Sasa tumewafundisha kwamba you can have the skyscrapers of Kenya. You can own all the companies in Kenya. Lakini hawa watu wadogo, kama hawadumio vitu yako, hakuna mahali unaenda. Ndio ni furaha yetu kwamba baada ya siku 10 peke yake ya kususia Safaricom imeanza kulia, wamepoteza 20 billion shillings.
Hakuna siku Kenya itakuwa na amani bila sisi tupate haki ya Msando na familia yake. Hakuna siku Kenya itakuwa na amani bila tupate haki kwa Baby Pendo na familia yake. Hakuna siku tutakuwa na amani bila tupate haki kwa yule mtoto anaitwa Mora na familia yake. Hakuna siku tutapata amani bila kupata haki kwa Baby Pendo na wale watu waliuliwa Kisumu, wale waliuliwa Bondo, wale wauliwa hapa Nairobi, Homa Bay, Migori na kila mahali.
Wakati kuna milioni 19.6 tunampatia Uhuru hizo milioni 7.4. Na mimi nataka nyinyi muandike hii sawa sawa. Ukijumlisha na ukitoa watu ambao hawakwenda kupiga kura ambao ni wafuasi wa Raila Amolo Odinga ni milioni 12.
Now, does Kenya have a debt problem? That has been the raging debate this past week. Treasury has been in the spotlight over the Jubilee administration's thirst for borrowing. In the first 2 years under this administration, Kenya borrowed more money than in President Kibaki's last 5 years in office. Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich says, however, there is no reason to worry and that Kenya's spending is at a manageable level. I spoke exclusively to Mr. Rotich on the many questions that are yet to be answered.
Down is that our revenues also have not performed very well. We are now behind by about 40 billion for the first 4 months of the year, beginning July. And all these also are associated with the long period of electioneering where activities slowed down and the collection of taxes like VAT and the like obviously were impacted. So when we look at overall assessment is that we've lost about 1% of GDP in terms of growth, and also revenue performance have slowed down to the tune of about 40 billion.
But you're talking about some of the assumptions that are made, for example, the drought. The drought was projected by the Kenya Meteorological Department. Certainly when budgeting for the election, one would assume that you would assume the worst case scenario. If it goes to the Supreme Court, if we have to do a repeat, including what's currently happening at this moment, did Treasury not foresee these circumstances?
I'll be very surprised if you foresee that we are going to have a repeat presidential election.
Wouldn't you plan for it anyway?
But even if you, it is in the Constitution, you don't start to say that that is the likely situation that will happen. All we expect is that we of course knew that the elections were going to be done in August, and that obviously had been factored in. It was just at the beginning of the financial year. And our expectation that was going to end that year, that month, and then the rest of the 10 months of the financial year will not be impacted.
So that will form the basis of our discussion on CheckPoint. We'll be discussing the state of the economy and whether the point at which we are now is solely because of what we're now calling prolonged electioneering period. I will have development economist Anzetse Were. We'll have the chair of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Phyllis Wakiaga, as well as Dr. Alex Awiti. We'll be discussing the economy and playing you more from that interview. Also, the full interview will run from 10:30 right here on CheckPoint. So please do keep your comments coming in for that. The hashtag on social media is CheckPoint. To other news now, Nyeri Deputy Governor Mutahi Kahiga is set to be sworn in as the new county governor tomorrow afternoon, following the tragic death of Governor Dr. Wahome Gakuru. The swearing-in ceremony will be preceded by a cleansing ceremony of the Nyeri Governor's office. Interdenominational prayers were held this afternoon, with leaders pledging their support for the incoming governor.
Sisi kama viongozi wote tumeshirikiana na tutashikana bega kwa bega na gavana ambaye anaingia kuona kwamba ndoto la gavana wetu mwenda zake mheshimiwa Gakuru limetimia.
We commit ourselves to serve you. We assure you we will work together in unity. We are coming from a history where we were known to be divided, na tunataka kuhakikishia hiyo ni history. Sisi tumeamua tutembea pamoja.
Because we are here to honor Dr. Wahome Gakuru, Governor Mau. Let his vision live in your heart. That is how you can honor him.
And now to a developing story on the suspicious eyewitness associated with 2 high-profile accidents, including that one that killed Nyeri Governor Dr. Wahome Gakuru. Well, tonight, police are investigating 8 more cases involving the controversial man. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations is looking into incidents where Dennis Mwigai Ngengi is alleged to have used 8 aliases to carry out various crimes. In the memo, police confirm that fingerprint analysis places Ngengi in the different crime scenes, including one in Meru, where he was allegedly involved in an assault. In Homa Bay County, a mother escaped death narrowly while delivering quintuplets. The 30-year-old is said to have attempted a home delivery when complications occurred. Fred Muturi now reports on the tough emergency that left 2 of the babies dead.
Arrived at the Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, medical staff were working tirelessly to save the 3rd child who was gasping for life.
Today around 5 a.m., the mother came in 2nd stage. And the mother managed to expel 5 babies.
At the hospital, 30-year-old Jacinta Akinyi, who delivered boys and 2 girls, appears relieved and full of hope.
Hata mimi nimeshtuka tu. Sikujua kama nimebeba watano. Sikujua. Nimekaa muda kabisa kama nijasa watoto.
But the celebration is short-lived. The new mother is concerned about the future. She cannot afford the recommended antenatal checks and vaccinations for her 3 babies.
Sai hakuna kitu yoyote mama niko nayo. Sai nataka tukusaidie na watoto wangu wote.
Jacinta, who has had 4 previous pregnancies, has lost 3 children. Her first and last born died a few minutes after birth.
Tena kama nimesawa watoto 3 nyumbani, nimekuja hospital kama nimebeba hizo watoto kwa mkono hivi. Nimeingia matata. 2 nimetoa tu matata.
Then I resuscitated that one again. Then on another palpation of the abdomen, there was still fetus in the abdomen. I ruptured the 3rd membrane, expelled the 3rd twin.
Her mother-in-law assisted to deliver 3 children, and the other 2 were delivered at Matata Hospital in Oyugis town.
Msichana alikuwa na nguvu sana. Alikuwa anaenda kwa barua ya samba, anapadelea watu. Mpaka siku nyingine anatoka samba nyingine samba mtu mwingine saa 12. Nikamwambia hapana, usifanye hivyo tena. Akaniambia sasa ningefanya namna gani na hakuna namna ya kukula.
Nimepalilia viazi. Na nikapanda viazi. Kutoka tu hapo naenda nyumbani. Baba nimesaenda nyumbani, nimesikia tu uchungu kidogo tu. Sikujua kama ni ya watoto.
The children weigh between 1.5 and 1.8 kilograms instead of the average 3.5 kgs. The first twin scored very poorly and it took the hospital 3 hours to complete the entire process. That saved only 3 of the children before their referral to Kisii. Fred Muturi, KTN News.
In the history of Kenya's Catholic Church, few bishops have been buried inside cathedrals since most of them died after their retirement. Elvis Koske explores why the late Bishop Cornelius Korir was accorded this sacred send-off and what it means.
Bishops buried inside cathedrals include former Nyeri Diocese Bishop Gatimu Ngandu, who died 30 years ago, his successor Nicodemus Kirima, Tiberius Mugendi of Kisii Diocese, and Bishop Longina Satundo of Bungoma. Archbishop of Nairobi, Maurice Michael Cardinal Otunga, was buried in accordance with his wishes at St. Austin Cemetery in Nairobi on August 2015. But later, his body was exhumed and reburied at the Resurrection Garden. Dominic Kimengich, Bishop of Catholic Diocese of Lodwar, explains how the Catholic Church laid out an elaborate burial ceremony to include some of the most solemn Catholic rituals.
Experts in liturgy, in the church, looked around and they identified that corner, that place, which is the grotto of the Blessed Virgin Mary, as the best place to bury Bishop Korir. Bishop, who is appointed to a diocese, whom we call the diocesan bishop, his place of ruling the diocese, of taking care of the pastoral, care of the diocese, is the cathedral. So that's where he belongs to.
Kimengich says that to include inscriptions of his personal details, including his date of ordination and the date of his death, written on an adjacent slab.
Which were given to the architect is to create a tomb which will not be open to elements which can decompose that body, or that a smell can come out of that. So it is well designed. If you saw that the grave, or we can call it the tomb, it has several layers. There was a wooden layer inside, and then after that there was a huge slab, which you saw now has been put there. That slab is airtight, and they have used also what you call waterproof cement. So at no time will the smell come out. If the body decomposes, the smell will not come out. It is well done, and it is sealed tight in a very tight way, so that you don't feel that. Remember again, also the body of Bishop Korir was treated well. It was embalmed. So a body which is embalmed doesn't, produce that smell anymore.
Maaskofu wetu Korir, tunaomba kwamba mwili wake pia ubaki jinsi ulivyo. Hiyo ni miujiza ya Mwenyezi Mungu.
He was our shepherd. So as a shepherd, he is to live among his sheep.
The Apostolic National Pope's representative to Kenya will soon start the process of looking for replacement of the late bishop. Elvis Kosgei, KTN News, Uasin Gishu County.
You're watching Checkpoint this Sunday evening. I want to take a small commercial break, but coming up, we will be speaking to experts and asking why they are worried about the trend of Kenya's economy. That's coming up. Plus, the Shuja's big win at Saflan Sevens in Namibia. That's all coming up on the program in just a short while.
A long pass wide into the hands of William Mbaka it goes, and the second score for Kenya, and a crucial score just before the halftime break.